Alrighty guys, today I'm going to be breaking down the absolute best and worst ways to land a high ticket sales role in 2025. Not the BS that everyone's telling you about, but the real strategies that are actually going to help you land a role. I've been in the space since 2020, closed $6 million in sales, and I've helped multiple students hit 10K a month in commissions. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which strategies are complete garbage and which ones are actually going to help you for your situation. So I'm actually going to be giving you a tiered list where I rank the best and the worst ways to land a role. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with one from the A tier, building a personal brand. This is probably the most powerful long-term strategy you can use in 2025. And the reason it works is when you build a brand, you build natural authority. But more importantly, opportunities start coming to you instead of you coming to them. They're basically inbound leads. And when you do this correctly, business owners will literally slide into your DMs asking you to close for them. After I built my brand on Facebook for just a few months, I had multiple owners reaching out to me asking me to close for them. The reason most people don't do this is they're too short-sighted. And it does take the longest out of all of the strategies I'm gonna go over today. And the sad thing is, even the guys who do have the patience for it, they don't implement it correctly. They fail because they try to post on every platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. They don't know what content to put out. They'll document things that are irrelevant. They'll post motivational quotes. Here's the right way to do it. Pick one platform to start. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to use, but don't try to be everywhere at once, at least not in the beginning. The second thing is post daily. Not generic motivational clips or quotes, but document your learnings every single day. And most importantly, share your wins. Break down sales techniques you're studying. Break down something you learned, something you observed, and how it applies to sales. The third thing you're gonna do after posting daily is engage with other people. Now again, don't just comment fire emojis on people's pages, but leave thoughtful questions, thoughtful responses, things that are gonna get your name out there and get you seen more often by the right people. Don't just comment, great post. Actually demonstrate you know what they're talking about and leave a thoughtful question. And number 4 is build familiarity. Consistency matters way more than perfection. Your first post will probably be shit, and that's okay. But the more consistent you are and the longer of a time horizon that you look at it from, the more likely it is you're actually gonna see results from this. The reason this is so powerful is when business owners start to recognize your name and they get familiar with your profile photo that they see on Facebook or Twitter or whatever platform you're using, and they see you consistently talking about sales in the right way and demonstrating your learnings and demonstrating the fact that you're committed to your craft, when they need a closer, guess who they think of? The person they know of. The person they see the most. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. Now, this approach will probably take 2 to 4 months minimum to really start to see results. But once it does, trust me, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I almost forgot, do not use a selfie as your profile pic. It'll look worse than a desperate Tinder profile. Okay, on to the next one. This one is gonna go in the average C tier category, and this is recruiters. Now, this can be decent if you've already got a lot of experience and solid numbers to back it up. But if you're brand new, most recruiters won't touch you. The main benefit of recruiters is they already have a lot of connections and their full-time job is finding companies that are hiring closers. And they can help you get your foot in the door probably faster than you could on your own. But there's a few major downsides. The first thing is they typically look for people with a proven track record. If you can't show that you've closed deals, and a lot of deals before, it's gonna be pretty tough. And the second thing is the competition is way higher, because generally if a business owner is paying a recruiter, they're not gonna accept a beginner rep with less experience because there's more risk on their end. There's different types of recruiters. Some charge up front for a placement fee, some charge based on performance, but either way, when a business owner goes through a recruiter, they're gonna end up paying more than if they just hired someone. So there's more risk on their end. And if they're gonna do that, you best believe they're gonna do everything they can to make sure the closing is proven more than anyone else that might apply. And because of this, the business owner is gonna be pickier than any other method that they hire a closer. Now, if you do go through this route, that's okay. Just make sure your profile is optimized, make sure you've closed a lot of deals, you have proof to back it up, and you have a killer introduction video ready to go. And make sure that you're very good at recording customized intro videos on the fly. Once you know you can do that, reach out to recruiters in the high ticket sales space who specialize in finding you closer roles. Don't wait for them to find you, go out there and find them. Again, this approach is okay. It can be really good. It can be really bad. The main factor that's going to differentiate that is how much experience and how much revenue you've closed yourself so far. So again, if you're new to high ticket sales, this probably isn't going to be the route for you. Okay, the next one is paid communities. I'm going to put this one in B tier. Now, I was going to put this in A tier, but as per the title, it's paid. Now, I personally completely disagree with this mentality, but I know there's a ton of people who are against investing into themselves. So for that reason, I put it in B instead of A. And that's really the only negative with this approach. Now, the positives are huge. Depending on the mastermind, of course, you generally get a lot more than a guaranteed placement. By the way, if someone guarantees you placement, don't believe them. That's a story for another day. Now, in these masterminds, you can get great sales training that's going to help you actually land a role because you've got the skill to back it up. And on top of that, you can also meet some amazing people in these communities and in these masterminds. Because think to yourself, who are the people that are going to be in there? They're going to be serious enough that they were willing to invest into themselves. They're serious enough that they're willing to show up every day, come to role plays, come to coaching calls and put in the work. And it's not always easy to meet like-minded people when you're just in your hometown. So these paid communities are a great way to bypass that. And to be honest, it's pretty easy to land roles when you're in these communities because a lot of business owners are actually going to sales training companies now, asking them for closes because they can probably trust them a lot more than just an applicant with a name, number, email, and some numbers that they've closed when they don't actually know if it's legit or not. Whereas if they go to a sales trainer and they say, hey, I like the way you sell, do you have many versions of you? And the sales trainer vets that person before making the connection, it's a lot easier to trust that as opposed to an applicant. Now, I am biased because obviously I run a paid community. I run a mastermind called Closers Cult, where I literally help guys make 5, 10, even 20K a month from remote sales. And part of that is helping them land a role. But I don't want to make this a pitch fest. If you want to know more about that, just click the link below. Cool, on to the next one, which is Seek. This is gonna be D tier. Now, if you want a structured, corporate, 9 to 5-ish sort of sales role, then this could be perfect for you. But if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're the type of guy that wants high commission, high reward, maybe a little bit higher risk, but it leads to the independence and the freedom to work remote, travel, and have the lifestyle that comes with commission-only sales. The jobs on Seek are typically gonna have a salary, which is good if you want that stability, but it's gonna be a lot lower in commission. Because think of it from the business owner's perspective. If they're paying you a base salary, it limits how much they can pay you in commission. Whereas in high ticket closing, if they're only paying you commission when you close, it means the upside is a lot higher. Now, it does mean the risk is higher. Again, it just depends on what type of person you are. The second thing with these jobs is there's more structure and less freedom. Because again, if they're paying you a salary, it means you're an employee, which means they're gonna be a lot more careful about what you do day to day. It's a little bit more office-like, there's more employee requirements, and generally that can also lead to a ton of meetings and a lot of other BS that comes with it. They're looking for employees at the end of the day, not commission-based closers who can pull in 10K plus months. Another thing is the application process with this can also be a nightmare. You're competing with hundreds, if not thousands of other applicants, and half the time that's being screened out by AI filters before a human even sees it. And that whole process of actually getting to an interview can take weeks, sometimes even months, depending on the company. Now, if you're desperate for any sort of sales role and you just want to get experience, again, you might as well try your luck. You could land a role and you could get some reps in. But if you want a true high ticket closing role, this probably isn't gonna be it for you. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. This is targeted outreach. I'm gonna put this on B tier. This is where you're gonna find companies in a specific niche that you're interested in selling for and reach out to the business owner. Now, this isn't about mass messaging every business owner on your For You page. Again, it's targeted. It's a strategic approach. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on YouTube and you're gonna search top coach in niche in country. So top fitness coach in Australia or top e-commerce coach in America, something along those lines. And what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a bunch of videos by coaches in the online coaching space. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna funnel hack them. Now, when I say funnel hack, you're essentially gonna pretend to be a prospect. So you're gonna go through, look at their VSL, look at their lead forms, look at the language they use, study it, maybe even book a sales call, and then cancel the call straight after. Don't be one of those guys. But then when you book a sales call, you can see the whole process back to front, and then you're gonna send a video to the business owner that's so personalized they can't ignore it. Now, I'm not gonna give you a template because again, it needs to be personalized, but some basic principles is don't ask for anything in your first message, send them an introduction video, and show that you've done your homework. Now, the only problem with this strategy is it's a bit like a cold lead because you're reaching out to them, you have no leverage, and a lot of the time business owners are quite busy, so they might even miss your message entirely. But if you wanna make this approach A tier, that leads me into the next one, which is networking. This is the elite approach a lot of my top closers are using to land 10K plus per month opportunities. It builds on targeted outreach, but it takes it to the next level. So after identifying the business owner, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on LinkedIn and you're gonna search search the company's name on LinkedIn and you're gonna click on the People's tab. Now, once you click on People, you're gonna see a list of names and you'll see the roles. You might see account executive, salesperson, account manager, something along those lines. So you can see the salespeople, you might be able to see HR, maybe some of the coaches, maybe even the sales manager, and you're gonna connect with them, not the CEO or the business owner, but the other salespeople or the other people within the company. Now, once you find them on LinkedIn, you then have leverage because you've got their name. You can connect with them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can find them really. Comment on their posts, share their content, build a relationship. Become someone who adds value first, not someone just looking for a job. Now, after you've established a relationship with these people for about 2 to 4 weeks, you can just let them know that you're on the lookout for an opportunity. Again, you're not asking for anything, you're not asking them for a job, you're just making them aware after you've built that relationship. And 9 times out of 10, if you've done the last few weeks correctly, they'll just refer you to the company they're working on. Or worst case, they refer you to another offer that they know is hiring. Now again, this approach takes more time, but the quality of opportunities you'll get from this is far greater than just applying on job boards like we spoke about before. Okay, on to the next one. This is paid hiring platforms. Now this is gonna be C tier. Again, partly because there's an investment, but also some other reasons I'll get to in a second. It's kind of like a hybrid between a paid community and recruiters. So the good thing is you're paying to be in there, which means there's some accountability on the business to actually land you a role, because that's how their business is made. But again, it's kind of like working with recruiters. You've got the same advantages and disadvantages. Unfortunately, I see way too many closers opting in for this as the easy way out, because they think that just slapping their credit card is going to fix the problem. But again, if you don't have the experience, the skills, or the numbers to back it up, you're probably going to find it pretty tough because there's a lot of competition on these platforms. So for me, that's why I put it as C tier. Last and definitely least is Facebook job boards or Facebook groups. This is gonna be D tier. Yes, there are thousands, and I mean thousands of posts looking for closers, looking to hire a savage ASAP. But 90% of these roles are absolute freaking garbage. The problem with these opportunities is a lot of the time the numbers are exaggerated. They claim you can make 20K a month, but when you dig deeper, no one on the team's actually doing it. There's not much proof of concept. A lot of these businesses are startups doing less than 100K a month. They don't have systems, they don't have processes, and that's why they're posting on a Facebook job board. It's kind of a race to the bottom because the only closers applying for this are ones that don't know a better way. And if they're willing to accept you from Facebook, it's probably because they're not getting that great of a demand. A lot of the time, there's not much support or structure either. They kind of expect a closer to just come in and fix their business, which oftentimes isn't gonna work. I've seen too many closers waste months, some even over a year, on wasted opportunities because they're just jumping from offer to offer, only applying through Facebook job boards. Heck, even I did that for a little bit when I started off in closing because I didn't know a better way. So I don't blame you if that's you or if you think that's the norm, but just know in 2025, there's way better approaches. Now, if you are gonna do this, you have to make sure that your vetting process is solid. What I mean is when you interview with the company, you need to interview them. See if you can speak with other closers on the team. Get specific data on their numbers, on their leads, on their revenue. Backtrack the math. For example, if they say the OTE is 20K a month, but the business is doing 100K a month and they've got 2 closers, and they're at 10%, the math doesn't add up. Because 100K at 10% is 10K in commissions, divided by 2 closers, that's not 20K. So when you see these 20K a month OTEs, backtrack the numbers and make sure it makes sense. Understand the average close rate, their deal size, their lead sources, how long the company's been running for. Get testimonials, see client results. What's the churn rate of clients? Ask how much current closers are making and what the difference is between the top and the bottom closers. See why no one's hit the OTE if no one has. How long does the average rep stay there for? If they're constantly churning through reps, it could be a bad sign. A lot of the best companies I know don't need to hire a savage closer because they know they can turn a closer into a savage because they've got the right processes and the right systems in place. But honestly, like I said, your time is better spent on the other strategies I went over earlier. But if you are gonna do it, again, just make sure you vet the companies. So there you go. That's the complete tiered list on the best and worst ways to land high ticket sales roles in 2025. So just to recap, in A tier, we've got building a brand and networking. In B tier, we've got paid communities and targeted outreach. In C tier, we have paid recruiters and hiring platforms. And in D tier, we have Seek and Facebook job boards. And this is the reality. Oftentimes, the fastest methods are going to be the worst methods. The approaches that take more time naturally filter out a lot of people, but it means you get results that most people won't get. Just like anything in life, there's no true shortcuts, but there are ways that you can be more efficient and maximize your time. More often than not, the guys making 10K plus per month aren't finding their jobs through Facebook groups. They're getting them through networks, paid mentorships, communities, or targeted outreach. They're using methods that take more effort. Now, like I said, in my Community Closers Cult, this is exactly what I help guys do. This is what helped Luke make $20,000 in a single month from remote sales. This is what helped Anton go from 2K a month to 15K a month. And it's what's helped my other students like Gabriel or Luke go from working full-time 9-to-5s to making an income from remote sales. So again, if you do want to learn more about that, you can book a call using the link below and you can speak with me on my team. Or if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. See you in the next one.